Hello everyone. There is a term transcendental state, the literal translation of which means a state that goes beyond sensory experience. It has been known since ancient times. Immanuel Kant, the founder of German classical philosophy, pondered and described states that could be called transcendental. The limits of our understanding. Edgar Cayce was one of those whose consciousness could easily transform, teetering on the brink of being and non-being, transitioning from the existence of body and soul to soul without body. He was also called the sleeping prophet. But unlike an ordinary person, who can experience such a state only a few times in life, Cayce could provoke this state with just an effort of will. Information obtained in such a state seems inaccessible to others, as if independently opening the door to reality and transforming in real time. Few know that for more than 40 years, Edgar received more than 14,000 pieces of future information coming from space. Edgar Cayce knew what lay ahead even before the sessions. He was asked to enter the borderline state on purpose, and he succeeded easily. In experiments involving a secretary and a group of researchers of the Cayce phenomenon, it was established that the clairvoyant did not use any additional items or means. It was enough to exert the will to provoke his state. After returning to consciousness in the body, he did not remember what he said at all. Cayce detailed many individual battles in World War II, talked about events, and even predicted the future. His prophecies are of interest for the coming years. Many of these predictions have actually been confirmed. There are many fake stories about Cayce's predictions on the internet, but researchers prefer to turn to the largest predictor researcher, Professor Jeremy Kanu of the University of Virginia in the United States. Cayce also conveyed information about spiritual entities existing without physical bodies, and that some of them remained intangible spiritual beings, while others took on physical forms. The events on the planet will lead to floods and earthquakes. For our time, he saw a rapid melting of ice sheets in the Arctic and Antarctica, as well as numerous cataclysms. Currently, the melting of ice is moderate. What will cause the rapid melting? Many now do not quite correctly interpret this prediction, says Jeremy, and call it global warming. However, warming is still a gradual phenomenon. The air temperature is increasing slowly in the average annual range and depends on many factors. Cayce, on the other hand, spoke of how he sees the ice melting very rapidly, turning into water, whole icebergs transforming before our eyes, and this sounds much more serious than the consequences of global warming, to which there is still time to prepare. Most of Cayce's forecasts about politics, economics, and life on Earth in the 21st century boiled down to two things: the danger posed by China to the entire global community, and the secret of those very ice sheets, which resulted in the well-known frightening map of the future world. Specifically, these are political problems. China will seek expansion at the expense of other states, as well as a large influx of refugees into Russia. Cayce spoke of crowds of people, predominantly of Asian origin. Europeans will leave their homes, leaving everything behind. Many are trying to rob them, but they will suffer greatly from this. Lucky are those who manage to leave the dangerous areas. This sounds very surprising. Russians and Americans will become brotherly nations. Many Americans will move to Russia. Former Soviet republics will unite. But before that, people will face a trial associated with the lack of clean fresh water. Water will be contaminated. It will not be possible to drink it, says Cayce. Western Siberia awaits the dawn of cataclysms, but this part of the land will not be affected by attacks on the ground. People await the appearance of new continents. Many states risk disappearing under the water forever. By 2040, it will be dangerous to be in the USA, but later than these times. This is the most difficult time for everyone. This is the 21st century. Next, according to the prophet's opinion, a quiet period of friendship and good relations will come, cataclysms will recede, epidemics will pass, the world will transform, and most of the ecological problems will be solved. Russia will become a world leader and a center for the unification of states. Everything will end with grace for the remainder of the 22nd century. Everything we are experiencing now will become the past, ecology will noticeably improve, and people will finally use technologies that allow them not to rely on the merciless use of the planet's resources, but by transforming energy. What do you think about Cayce's predictions? Write your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like if this video was interesting to you. Subscribe to be the first to know about the most interesting events. Until next time.